Hi. This is FactScoop here. Today, for our first ever video, we want to talk about tree men, and werewolves, and stone men. And, to your surprise, it is all connected to science. Give us a few minutes and your brain will be satisfied with a few new facts to remember. So let's start with disease number 1, Stone Man Syndrome. It's a progressive genetic disorder that over time turns your soft tissues into bone. The disease is noticeable in early childhood. Normally, the growth and development of tissues such as bone, muscles, tendons and ligaments is regulated by a gene called ACVR1. It also turns cartilage into bone. But if the mutations occur, an extraskeletal bone is formed, causing a fusion of joints, which in time results in troubles with moving, speaking, eating or even breathing. A person affected by the disease has usually characteristic malformed big toes and short thumbs. The disease is very rare and occurs in about 1 in 2 million people. Unfortunately, there is no treatment in the moment. Number 2 is Tree Man Syndrome, epidermal dysplasia viruciformis. What first looks like bark on someone's skin are actually inherited wart-like papules or plaques, which also usually start appearing during childhood. Because of the exposure to sunlight, the non-melanoma skin cancer might be developed in later decades of life, which is true for 30 to 60% of the affected people. The disease is caused due to a loss of function mutation caused by EVR1 and 2 genes, which leads to skin being susceptible to infection with specific HPV subtypes which typically don't cause disease. There is also no cure for the disease, although it is possible to treat it to reduce the symptoms. Hypertrichosis, werewolf syndrome. The nickname of the condition is due to the abnormal hair growth that covers the sufferer's body. It might be the whole body or just parts of it. The disease might be either congenital or acquired, and there are lots of subtypes, cases and details, but we're going to cover it in a short version. So let's start with congenital form. To begin with, only less than 50 cases of the disease have been recorded. Because of that, the research is limited, with some findings that are even a century old. From the symptoms other than lots of hair, a person might also develop bad oral health. It is suspected that the condition might appear during fetal development. If it comes to the acquired type, the causes are easier to identify. For example, it might be caused because of some medication of other diseases. Cosmetic technology might improve the quality of life by removing the excessive amount of hair. Number 4, progeria. The disease that we are talking about is basically when a child starts growing older from the very young age. This condition is not inherited and is caused by a single mistake in a certain gene, which starts producing an abnormal protein progerin. Because of that, the cells break more easily and it leads to growing old quickly by affected kids. Some of the symptoms of the disease are bigger head and eyes, high-pitched voice or loss of body fat and muscle. While the condition doesn't affect the brain development, it causes a lot of other diseases which are usually typical to older people. Another aspect of progeria is that children affected by it usually won't live longer than 13 years. There is currently no cure for the disease, but the researchers are working on finding one. And that's it for today's video. You can find all of the information and resources we used in the description. We hope you liked our first video and you're going to stay for longer. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. See you soon.